In this episode, we're going to be talking about God and how He loves us.
Welcome to that missionary life with the Jensen.
This is episode 36, week 62. This one's dedicated to Kade. We had a packed week. On P-Day, we went to the mall and ran a whole bunch of errands. We made a whole bunch of videos.
I did just cut all of this out of a Book of Mormon so that I could make this. It's a Book of Mormon with an outlet in it.
Visited some people in the hospital, had interviews with President Talley, taught a few lessons, had zone conference, celebrated 2 of my previous companions' birthdays, threw out an old chair, and overall just worked hard this week. Busy, busy, busy. A reoccurring theme from this week was the simple sentiment of God's love. It was the topic of one of the videos we were filming, and then it later came up in some conversations. People asking if God loved them, and He does. If you haven't seen it, I actually made a video reflecting on my biggest lesson I learned last year, and the thing that I learned was that God loves me and you individually. All the times I have felt amazing or had an opportunity I couldn't resist were because of God. All the times I've struggled or gone through something difficult were thanks to God too, because those hard times were for my benefit and growth. And in case you missed it, I tend to say, remember that God loves you, 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 God loves you. So how can we see God's love? We see it a lot in the scriptures where God demonstrates His love. He's promised rainbows as a reminder of His love. He has given His actual Son to show us His love. And there are many other verses that show us this throughout the scriptures. But even still, it can be a struggle to see His love. Reading about it doesn't quite do the justice of experiencing it. So how can we experience it? The best way is by testing it. We can read how a blanket can cover us up and keep us warm, but until we experience the blanket warming us up, it can be a little bit more difficult to feel. We gotta go get the personal experience. We gotta go get the blanket. So, say a prayer, read some scriptures, talk to a friend, take a walk. Look outside at all of His creations. Test His love. If you go out trying to find red cars, you're gonna start noticing that there are a lot more red cars than you thought there were. But there's not actually more red cars than you thought there were, you're just seeing it more because you're looking for it more. If you go out trying to see God's love, you will experience it. You will start to see it. The more and more you seek, the more and more you will find. And people might tell you that God doesn't love you. They might say because you've done X, He doesn't love you, or because you are Y, He won't love you. They are wrong. No matter what you do, no matter where you go, no matter who you are or who you've been, God will always love you. Don't ever let anyone tell you otherwise. 1 John 4:19 says, we love Him because He first loved us. God created us in His image, which ultimately means if we are capable of love, so is He. And if His best is always better than ours, just imagine how infinite that love is. This week, I challenge you to ask God if He loves you. Remember, if you like That Missionary Life, click the link down below to join the free weekly email. And if you know somebody that might be interested in the series, send them that same link so that they can join as well. Remember that God loves you, and I do too. Have a great week.